Hello everyone. Again, this is Aman Agarwal, Assistant Professor SRMS Trust Institutions, Bareilly. So here comes the another lecture, which is based on very prominent topic UART, which stands for Universal Asynchronous Receiver Transmitter Protocol. UART is a protocol which is related to communication protocol and it is inter-symbol protocol. What is inter-symbol protocol and intra-symbol protocol has been discussed in my previous lecture. So UART is a part of inter-symbol protocol, which means Universal Asynchronous Receiver Transmitter Protocol. So let's start to discuss about the UART. UART. UART as stands for Universal Asynchronous Receiver Transmitter. Most UARTs are full duplex system, which means they can communicate from one receiver to another receiver, from one transmitter to another receiver in full duplex mode, which means the transmission and reception can be done simultaneously. So UARTs have separate pins and electronic hardware for the transmitter and receiver that allows serial output and serial input to take place simultaneously, which means transmission and reception of the data of the signal can take place simultaneously. Next point is, it is based around shift registers and a clock signal. So UART based upon the clock signals. UART clock determines the baud rate. UART frames the data bits with every frame has a start bit to provide synchronization to the receiver and one or more stop bit to signal end of data. So in every frame of the data there must be one start bit to provide synchronization and there must be one stop bit to signal end of the data. Most UARTs can also optionally generate parity bits on transmission and parity checking on reception to provide simple error detection. Parity checking is of two types basically. One is even parity, one is odd parity. If the number of ones in a data byte is even, so this is called even parity, and if the number of ones in the data byte is odd, this is called odd parity. So most UARTs can also optionally generate parity bits on transmission and parity checking on reception. UARTs often have receive and transmit buffers, first in first out mode, as well as the serial shift registers. So there is a protocol which follows first in first out system. Now UART transmitter part. The transmitter section of the UART. The transmitter converts data from parallel to serial format. So at the transmitter end of the UART, the incoming data is in parallel mode and it converts this incoming parallel data into serial format, and then this serial data is to be transmitted to the receiver end. So to convert data from parallel to serial, it inserts start and stop bits, calculates and inserts parity bit if required. Calculate means if it is even parity, so the even parity is added or not, odd parity, the odd parity is added or not. This is the calculation of parity bit. and output bit rate is determined by the UART clock. So here we can see that this is the parallel data which is coming to the UART and which converts this into serial output data which goes to the transmission end. This is the UART clock from baud rate generator, and this gives the status information. Now asynchronous serial transmission. As this parallel incoming data is converted into serial output data, now how start bit and parity bit or stop bit is added to this data, this is elaborate by this example. This can easily be understood by this example. So let's see the example. In the upper figure, you can see that there is 7 bits of the data which is converted into serial data, which is the output data of the transmitter. 7 bits of the data bit. One start bit is to be there in the starting of the data. One parity bit is to be there at the last of the data, and finally one stop bit is to be there to signal the end of the data. So this whole combines make a one character. One character includes 7 bits of the data, one start bit, one parity bit, and one stop bit. So this whole makes the one character of the data. Now serial transmission is little endian, which means little endian means in which the least significant bit LSB comes first. So here we can see from the example. In this example, say for letter M is to be transmitted. Letter M, which is represented by the bits 1 0 0 1 1 0 1, and it is the case of even parity. Kindly see the examples very carefully. Letter M is abbreviated by the bits as 1 0 0 1 1 0 1, and this is the case of even parity. In this letter M, the LSB is 1, and in this little endian format the LSB comes first. So from this diagram we can see that there is one start bit at the starting of the data, then the LSB bit 1, then 0, then 1 1 0 0 and 1. The last one is the MSB of letter M. So these are the 7 data bits which means 7 bits of the letter M. And now one parity bit must be added here. This is the case of even parity. Even parity means the number of ones must be even in the given data. So we can count the number of ones in the given letter M. Number of ones are 1 2 3 4. Number of ones in the given letter M is even. So there is no requirement to add another one. So parity bit is 0. If number of ones are odd, then we must have add 1 as the parity bit to make it even. So here parity bit is used as 0, and there must be one stop bit at the end of the data bit. So this whole makes one character, which means the letter M. Start bit 7 data bits, parity bit is calculated as 0, and 1 is stop bit. Now come to the UART receiver part. UART, the receiver, it synchronizes with transmitter using the falling edge of the start bit. In the clock pulse, we know that there are two types of synchronization through the clock. One is from the starting edge of the clock, and one is with the falling edge of the clock. So it synchronizes with transmitter using the falling edge of the starting bit. UART receiver samples the input data line at a clock rate that is normally a multiple of baud rate. Typically, it is 16 times the baud rate. Next point is, it reads each bit in the middle of bit period, which means many modern UARTs use a majority decision of the several samples to determine the bit value, as we all know that. Next point is, it removes the start and stop bits. In the transmitter section, we have to add one start bit, one stop bit, and the data bits are combined with the start and stop bit. But at the receiver part, it removes the start and the stop bits, so it can easily retrieve the data bits from the transmitted data. So it removes the start and stop bits, optional calculates and checks the parity bit if required. If parity bit is added, then it is calculated at the receiving end, so the actual data bits can be retrieved properly. It presents the received data value in parallel form, as the original data value is in the parallel form, which is to be converted through the transmitter in the serial form, and then it is transmitted to the receiver end. Now at the receiver end, it receives the received data, it receives the transmitted data and converts it into original parallel data form. So from diagram we can see that parallel data is the out of this receiver, serial data is the input of this receiver. UART clock from baud rate generator clock is required to generate the baud rate, and status information is given out. Now here asynchronous serial reception can be understood by this example of letter M, as we have discussed it earlier in the transmission side. So from the transmitter, the letter M, which is abbreviated as 1001101, was transmitted through the transmitter, and now it is received at the receiver part. So at the receiver part, it receives 1011001. These are the 7 bits of the data. One start bit is there, one stop bit is there, and one parity bit, which is 0, is amended here to make it even parity. This whole data sequence was transmitted by the transmitter and is received at the receiver end. So in the below diagram, it shows how clock cycle works to retrieve the original data. When it is idle, it waits for the start bit, and when the start bit is detected, the first data bit is retrieved after just the start bit end, and so on. Now UARTs. It usually used on simple system. These are the basic applications of UART, the basic features of UART. So the first feature is it is usually used on simple systems. It typically point-to-point communication. Various different formats and protocols are associated with the UART protocol. Normally, 8-bit data format with one start and one stop bit is used in the UART format. Standards, for example, RS-232. RS-232 communication is the standard example of UART protocol, which defines connector type, pin assignment, voltage level, maximum bit rate, cable length, and etc. Minimum 3 pins, transmitter, receiver and grounds, are to be there in UART. Other pins are used for data flow control. Some common RS-232 baud rates are 300. These are the baud rates which are common in use when RS-232 port is used. The baud rates are 300, 1200, 9600 and 19200. These are the common used baud rates. UARTs also supports handshaking, which means hardware RTS, CTS, etc. simple logic levels are required, and software XON XOF protocol. This is the another version of the UART protocol, which is LPC23XX UART. UART 1 is identical to UART 0, 2, 3, but with the addition of a modem interface. This LPC23XX UART has 16-byte receive and transmit FIFO, first in, first out service. It register locations conform to 550 industry standard. The receiver FIFO trigger points at 1, 4, 8 and 14 bytes. It also has a built-in baud rate generator, so there is no requirement to connect external baud rate generator to this LPC23 UART protocol. It supports standard modem interface signals included CTS, DCD, DTS, DTR, RI and RTS. Either software or hardware flow control can be implemented in this LPC23XX UART protocol. Now come to the next slide. UART registers. UART is a protocol, but UART card can be used to support the UART protocol, and this UART card UART module has different types of registers. There are several registers named as control registers, transmit register, receive register, FIFO control, status register, interrupt register, interrupt enable, format control and baud rate control. These all registers are to be used for different operations as named. Say for example, control registers used to store the information for controlling purpose. Transmit registers store the information of the transmitter temporarily. Receive register receive the received data in a register, and then this received data can be processed after some time. So there must be a register to save this received data. FIFO control register is used to store this first in first out manner data. So it has to be maintained a sequence of data, which data has to be first in and has to be first out. This is controlled by the FIFO control register. Status register, which shows the status of the data bits. Interrupt and interrupt enable registers are used for the interrupt purpose in UART protocol. Whenever an external interrupt is required or external interrupt is initiated, these interrupt and interrupt enable registers are to be used to store the information regarding the incoming interrupt. Format control register and baud rate control register. Baud rate control registers records the baud rate according to which the system performs its operation. The transmission and reception performs at which baud rate is to be controlled by the baud rate control register, and it is governed by the baud rate generator. So here comes the baud rate generator. there is a expression to calculate the baud rate which is generated by the baud rate generator, and this is a simple expression which can be recited UART1 baud rate. To calculate the baud rate of UART1 system is equal to P clock upon 16 cross 256 cross UI DLM plus UI DLL part. There is a flow chart also to demonstrate the baud rate generator process, which shows, here we can see the flow diagram, how it works. It calculating UART baud rate, then goes to the PC clock baud rate, then DL is calculated as P clock upon 16 into BR, then this goes to the DL estimated. If DL estimated is an integer, if this condition is true, then it is DIVA DDVAL, ये हमारी वैल्यू 0 है या मल्टी वैल्यू हमारी 1 है. If it is true, then it goes to the end part, and if it is false, then it goes to the FR estimated, which is 1.5. Now again DL estimated is calculated and FR estimate is calculated. If this FR estimated lies between 1.1 to 1.9, if this is false, then again this process should be repeated, and if this is true, then finally we can calculate the DLM and DLL. So in this way we can generate the baud rate which is produced by the baud rate generator. So this is a short description on UART protocol. Thank you for listening. Thank you.